So I've made at least 3 videos about my diet and how my diet sucks and I'm failing at it and it's all ruined and blah blah blah. But I think now it's time to show you what an actual usual day of eating looks like. But okay, I chose the worst day to do this because I had a very unusual diet, but I'll go over what I usually eat. But I also want to show you how I hit that sweet goal of 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. But I do want to give a disclaimer, obviously, is that I don't eat like this every single day. I'm not someone who has an absolute perfect diet, and if I did, I would probably already be super lean, but I want to show you what a more real day of eating looks like. Not a perfect day. I can say that for another Home Gym Warrior episode, but I think you're more interested in seeing what does my day look like day to day and what does an off day look like, because this was kind of an off day. I also did film my entire full day of eating on December 26th, so right after Christmas and during the holidays, so you can kind of get a good idea of how this is going to turn out. But in a nutshell, to keep my diet clean, I like to try and employ the 80-20 rule. So I want to try and make sure that 80% of my foods are clean, whole foods, and I want them to be minimally processed if I can. And then for the rest of the 20%, it can be whatever the hell I want. So for me, that would be like 200-300 calories worth of garbage. So with that out of the way, let's get to a full day of eating. Okay, so let's start with some background. Keep in mind that this diet is meant for cutting and not bulking. When I bulk, I usually just eat the same thing, but I add more. But in general, my foods stay pretty damn consistent, especially my breakfast. My breakfast has stayed the same for the last like 2 years, and it's been working great for me so far. Just gonna have my phone here so I can refer to the foods, but let's start with breakfast. So for breakfast, we're getting 24 grams of fat, 20 grams of carbs, and 80 grams of protein. And all this comes at 610 calories. Have you ever seen a 610 calorie breakfast with 80 grams of protein? It's kind of wicked. So to do that, I eat 3 large eggs, I eat 1 serving of Greek yogurt, it's like this little cup, it's like 90 calories, 8 grams of protein, it's amazing. And I do enjoy a morning iced latte that I make homemade every single day, and I cannot give it up, it's just so damn good.
That's like bus.
But the trick is to add no sweeteners and to use this milk called Fairlife milk. I don't know if it's everywhere else in the world, but it's in Canada here. And Fairlife 2% lactose-free, ultra-filtered milk, whatever the hell that is, it is amazing. I've talked about it in a previous video, but for 130 calories, you're getting 14 grams of protein and 6 grams of carbs, or in this case, 6 grams of sugar. A cup of milk, 6 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein. What the hell? And then what makes most of the protein is my protein shake. So it's really simple. It's just water, a scoop of protein powder, and my collagen powder that I've mentioned before too. But the protein powder is 27 grams of protein, and then the collagen is 10 grams of protein. So you add that together with some basic math, you're getting 37 grams of protein in a little shaker cup. That's actually what makes almost half the breakfast. That's literally half of my protein for the entire day. And next up, let's go to lunch. So let's fast forward a little bit. I had my breakfast really late that day, so I think I ate it around like 2 p.m. I mean, I go really late without eating, and that's cool with me. I just don't get hungry in the mornings. But for lunch, my girlfriend did order herself some brisket, and she did give me a slice of it, so I didn't eat a whole thing. But that slice of smoked brisket ended up coming to about 174 calories. I mean, of course, this is a good example of where it's really hard to track your calories if you're not making it yourself, because I don't know what oils they put in there. I don't know if I even did the right math on this. I mean, I just measured it out on my scale and it came out to 62 grams, which is like 16 grams of protein, 174 calories. I don't know if that's right. This isn't a perfect day of eating, this is just a realistic day of eating. Then for an afternoon snack, I was feeling some beef jerky, so I had this little pack that I got for the holidays, and dude, beef jerky is just amazing. I mean, that little pack of beef jerky was 12 grams of protein and 100 calories. You can see how the protein stacks up real quick when you're eating these really lean, especially meat. It's, as you can tell, there's a commonality, it's meat. Meat does the job. But for lunch, I would usually have some lentils or some chicken, but because I had the beef jerky for a snack, I had the beef brisket, I mean, all these things kind of add up to like 300-400 calories. And then I also did have a large unsweetened iced latte from Tim's. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know I need my second coffee of the day because it's the workout right after this, baby. Now you're thinking a large iced latte? I mean, that's going to be a lot of calories. It was only 140 calories and it had 10 grams of protein, probably from the milk. So all of the things I've just mentioned, I'm only at like 900 calories. I still have a shit ton of calories left for the day, and at this point, I think it was like 4 or 5 p.m. Like, it was pretty late already, but I was getting hungry for dinner. And I had a big dinner. This is where things are not usual. We went out to get Subway. And if you know anything about Subway, It's a sandwich. You should know that about Subway. So I was really hungry and I got a footlong. And I got the Great Canadian Club footlong. Now, I don't know if that's like a Canada only thing because it has Canadian in the name, but I can read out the macros for you. And for 920 calories, now this is very unusual, you're getting 52 grams of protein, 18 grams of sugar, but the carbs, 94 grams of carbs from the breads, and 40 grams of fat. So that's a big boy, because now we're almost at the 2,000 calorie mark. I'm running out of calories here. What am I gonna do? Well, it's holiday time, so I wanted a little snack, so I grabbed a little chocolate, and you know what? It's fine. It was like 80 calories for a little chocolate. I had the calories for it. I'm still under. And then to finish off, I had this thing called a passion fruit mojito. It's like a mocktail in a can. I mean, it's pretty good because it's 73 calories, and usually those things are a lot more calories, but again, very unusual. I don't eat these kinds of foods every single day. It's just what was there. So with that said, that was everything I ate in that day. That ended up coming to 2,094 calories. So it's just under that 2,100 calorie mark that I want to aim for. But the macros were magic. 88 grams of fat, which is pretty high, 160 grams of carbs, and 171 grams of protein. I only weigh 160-ish pounds right now. I only need roughly 160 grams of protein and I ended up getting 171 in 2,000 calories, mind you. So that's all for the day, but I just kind of want to talk about the foods that I chose and the foods that I usually have. Though Subway was almost half of my 2,100 calories, on a usual day when I'm not eating Subway and I have an extra 920 calories, I'll be filling that with chicken breast, which is like 40 grams of protein for a nice sized chicken breast. I'll be putting some lentils in there, which are very filling, high in fiber, very healthy. Throwing a couple of rice cakes, and if I got the calories, maybe I'll make a peanut butter toast with just like a little bit less peanut butter than when I'm on a bulk. When I'm bulking, I'll be eating like 2 peanut butter sandwiches. Like, it can get pretty intense. And of course, I only eat like the peanut butter toast, especially when I have the calories. If I'm already at like 2,200 calories, we're not going to throw in toast. We're done eating. Go to bed. But yeah, I guess the trick to this cut is really just to get some high fibrous, high protein, really filling foods that are very lean and have not that many calories. And I mean, if you can find those foods that you actually enjoy, you can eat them every day, cutting should be pretty straightforward. And yes, I do have those foods, but I think regardless, cutting always has more resistance than bulking because you can be pretty unrestricted with bulking, but with cutting, you gotta be very on top of your shit, or you're not gonna get lean. I know, because I'm not lean yet. But yeah, maybe later I'll make a perfect day of cutting and what I eat, because I think that would also be a good contrast to this video, because this is like holiday edition of cutting, and I mean, that like the holiday edition and cutting, like that doesn't even go together. Yeah, the main thing is I keep my protein high, ideally above 1 gram per pound of body weight, so 160 grams of protein. I keep the calories around 2,100 or even lower than that if I can. And I might even cut more aggressively in 2024, depending on how much fat I lose in January. Because by the time you're watching this, I think we're going to be roughly halfway through January or so. January? Halfway through January, holy. But hey, we'll see how it goes. Well, that has been a full day of eating, and now I want you to do something for me. I want you to go into the comments and tell me if I'm making a crucial mistake, which is just destroying my progress and holding me back from that super lean body that I want. Because if there's anything I can do to shed this fat faster so I can start my bulk already, I would love that. I am kind of getting tired of cutting because I want to eat. Well, fellas, thanks for sticking to the end of episode 9. Also, while you're commenting, make sure to drop a like and a sub because it helps the channel a lot. And in 2024, we're going to be doing some epic shit. So I'll see you in the next one. Okay, it is now day 2 of the fast, and the first day was much easier, but day 2, I don't know what it is, man. I'm really hungry. I'm hungry. Dude, I'm hungry. Dude, why am I so freaking hungry?